Hi everybody, this is Art Samurai, and today I'm gonna be reacting to Chainsaw Man, chapter 223. So, about 222, I'll just be talking about the second half of it, really. So, something I really like is how, page 9, Yoru says, "The loser belongs to the winner. I'll take you to my world as a weapon." And what do we have Denji say when he beats her at rock, paper, scissors? He says, "I win," which means I still belong to me. So that's not only like, for one, I love that because it's Denji actually exerting his own agency about himself, making me think of like, when he wanted to just be a dog for Makima after Aki died. And he didn't want to make his own decisions, so he's like, okay, I'll leave it up I'll leave it up all to someone else. So, basically I'll belong to someone else. And then very recently, with Yoru, he was very willing to become a weapon for her, just out of a very self-destructive desire for uh, redemption, after Fire Devil basically told him, this is what happened because of a choice you made. And you didn't consider the consequences of it. And so he was like, I don't want to live anymore. And therefore, I'll just uh, if I'm no use being alive, then I'll just die, and that way I can uh, make up for the wrong that I've done. And yeah, he was basically giving up on his autonomy and just living his whole personhood to someone else once again. So that's why it's so satisfying to see him claim ownership of his own um, body and um, mental slash emotional state by saying, I belong to me, you know? I don't belong to anyone else. I'm not gonna follow what you want. And I don't want to be an extension of someone else. I'm not gonna play dog anymore for someone who does not see me as a person. But also, it shows the difference in philosophy between him and Yoru. You know, if she wins, then Denji slash Pochita belong to her. But Denji won here, and yet he's not claiming uh, that Yoru belongs to him in any way. He's just, you know, reclaiming his own identity and agency, like I said, which is really nice to see. But yeah, also just a really good moment of having Denji just show his out of the box thinking and outplaying his opponents at their own game. Like we've seen it so many times before against the Eternity Devil, against Katana Man, against Rese when he, sinks them both into the ocean, against Santa Claus, against Makima, and that's because he was so observant of her that he knew, you know, she never once saw him. She only saw him as an obstacle to get to Pochita. Then we had him against Falling Devil, even if it was sad. It was definitely a clever strategy to cut up his brain so that her psychological attacks wouldn't work on him. Also against aging, uh, feeding on the trees so that Pochita could uh, do the work against aging in the real world. And now here, because he's figured out Yoru's way of thinking. And although he did not actually see how she defeated Falling, which makes it all the more impressive that he was able to figure this out. That, just by observing the way that she behaves, that he knew that this would be an effective way to win against her in some way. And it worked. She acknowledged it as Denji winning against her this time. Yeah, you just perceived yourself as having lost to me, which is so cool. Uh, then we also have, like, I searched up, like, what does Yoru call, sorry, what does Denji call Yoru in Japanese when he says, Yoru baby? And he is calling her Yoru-chan, which I think is pretty clear that it's a way that he's belittling her and mocking her. And that goes to show the different way that he was acting in comparison to, like, when he defeated Makima. Like, he didn't have a smile of satisfaction or making fun of her when he did so. He seemed kind of sad and just solemn at the fact that he had to do this. Whereas here, he seems to be completely aware now that, the way that Yoru has been treating him in Asa is just, very. She doesn't care about either of them, basically. And he doesn't care anymore about the way that she thinks of him, if, she shows him affection or not. He's just completely done with her. So he's like, okay, then I'll take pleasure in putting her down and showing her that she's not as great as she thinks she is, basically. Which I love. Like, it's about time that Denji flipped the tables on her and showed her, actually, I don't need you as much as you think I do. So I love the mocking tone that he has with her here. And lastly, I love that he uses, peace sign or scissors, because that's what Yoru did against Falling. And that was basically like, war appropriating the peace sign, which is, uh, quite unnerving. And this feels as like Denji's reappropriating it now. You don't get to use a peace sign when you're the embodiment of war. I'm the one who's gonna take you down. I get to use it. Which, the peace sign is a very, it shows up a lot in Chainsaw Man. And it's usually for the character to basically signify that, I'm gonna be okay, or I can do this. So it does feel like Denji is now filled with hope and determination, I can get through this. This is Denji's seemingly his peak self-actualization as a character. Filled with a will to live, which we haven't had in a long time, I feel like. And that's how Denji Man happens. And it all goes into the design as well, because I did not notice the differences that much the first time. But Denji Man only has 2 arms, whereas Pochita's full form has 4. And then you can see his eye very clearly, whereas Pochita doesn't have any visible eyes. And Denji, in his Chainsaw Man form, has like, the 3 slits that look like eyes. But here is just completely, the circle. So I think it's like to symbolize that Denji is finally looking at things instead of averting his eyes and trying to pretend something is not there. Here he's finally confronting his his, let's call it, emotional problems and all the, let's say the side effects slash consequences of the trauma that he's lived through. Like basically saying, this coping mechanism that I've had for all this time, it's not working. So I'm finally gonna confront and open the door fully. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the chapter, because man, I was not fully locked in last time. But yeah, it was really, really good. Okay, next chapter, 223, titled Ultimate Armor. Let's get it. Okay, first panel is Denji Man just looking very auraful. He's red? The red one. Oh shit. I didn't even, think too much about what color he could be. I thought it was gonna be like a full fusion of black and red. But he's full red. I mean, he is Denji Man, but I thought, that this was a, like, near perfect combination of Denji and Pochita, to show that Denji, he's not abandoning the part of his identity as Denji, the person, or the part of his identity that is Chainsaw Man. He's not abandoning either. He's marrying them together and accepting them both as himself, which I think is why, well, a big part of what makes Denji Man as a form so beautiful to me. But yeah, okay, he's fully red. The red one isn't my Chainsaw Man. Dude, neither of them are your Chainsaw Man. I'm not interested in you, Denji. Turn back. Raw. Also, uh, I didn't. I don't think I said it, but yeah, Denji Man can talk, unlike Black Chainsaw Man. So yeah, makes sense that he'd be full red if it's um Denji's the one in control. Oh, he's shooting his chains. Chains? Kind of like he did with Reze. But yeah, she just dodged it. But let's see. He's shooting them against two buildings. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. That's the tech you learned in high school? You're an unworthy opponent, Denji. Bet. Just wait, Yoru. Return your body to Chainsaw Man, or suffer the consequences. You don't get it. You don't get it. Okay. Uh, he's calling the chains back with something in one of them. A devil? What's the name of this devil? Yoru looks, I don't know, a little disgusted. I heard you made a bunch of great friends, Yoru. Oh, is that one of her devil friends? Well, friends. Tools. I made me some swanky armor. Bah! One, two, three, four, five different devils. Okay, so all the chains got one. Yoru-sama. That's what I imagine is horrific. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Okay. You're using my friends as a shield? Oh, that is kinda funny, I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like that's something once again, like subverting, like that's something the usual shonen protagonist would be saying. But like Yoda doesn't care about these devils really. She's probably just um offended that Yoru would take away her property. Bah, not my Mori. Okay, can you attack me now? You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, Denji Man is using the fake soul strategy of using hostages. I mean, granted, Denji has tried this before with Katana Man's buddies, but those were, I don't think he ever actually tried to kill them. No, I don't think he had even the intention to do so. But this is slightly different. No way. Damn, you brute. Gra. Okay. Cut Yoru's head off and then cut her at the waist. Fine. Then all I have to do is blast off your head. Bang. Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, it seems like that devil she called Mori is dead now. Blah! It's crying. Morale? Oh, Denji Man is pulling his ripcord. Okay, a panel of Yoru's shoes. Up to this point, I was having fun. I played by the rules. Yeah, this bullshit made up rules you made. I fought you fair and square from head on, but you crossed the line. This fucking hypocrite. You'll pay for that. Playtime is over, Denji. I get it. I watch pals get hurt and die too. I know how you feel way too well. Okay. As you become increasingly alone, your heart aches, doesn't it? Hmm. Is he being truly sympathetic? Or is he basically saying this as a way of saying, like, do you get, you know, a sliver of the pain that I've had through life? A panel of Yoru trying to process what he just said, and then she looks so shocked by it. Oh, he's eating Mori eel, and now he's you know, pretty much all chumped up. I'm sorry, but Yoda's face is hilarious. She just cannot believe her eyes. Mmm, tasty. uh, I love that after that. Uh, that whole thing of like, you get it, right? That seeing your pals get hurt, that that would sting, wouldn't it? Well, here you go. You get a taste of it, I get a little taste of it. Yummy. Yoda shoots a bang, very angry looking, but she doesn't seem like she hit her target. I zoomed out panel looking at her and then zoom in on her eyes, looking quite irritated. Where'd you flee to? Fight me! Okay, we get a close up to Denji Man's face. Give back Asa's body, or I'll eat all your bodies one by one. Ooh, okay. That's the strat. He's putting it all on the open. Damn you! She's so pissed. He's really getting into her skin, huh? Under her skin, I mean. Okay. Yo, her face. She raises her hand. I'm guessing summoning another devil? Oh, what are we doing? A satellite on space? Hello? What are we doing? The moon? No shot. I saw people joking. Like whenever Yoru first said like uh I'm calling out for like the Michigan sword, or now like apparently the Oregon sword. And like if she can just make anything that America has claimed as its own, could she make the moon her weapon? Oh my god, there's an actual crack coming from the American flag in it. You're joking. And that's when we get to be continued? This is about to get insane. Alright. Uh this was a very fun chapter. I'm not gonna lie. I very much enjoyed Denji Man toying with Yoru throughout the whole thing. And though, very consistent, but yeah, very eye-rolling seeing Yoru be like, oh my god, I play by the rules, you cheater, how dare you? I was playing so fair, and you just had to go and ruin it. Like, and the fact that she's being so, like, she's not faking this, this is actually, like, what she believes. Oh, man. I have to laugh. But yeah, apparently it seems like she's gonna call on a moon sword next chapter. Um, like, of course, right? Until we don't, let's say, absolutely defeat Yoru and show her that she doesn't have a chance, she's not gonna give up and uh, accept Denji's demands. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure, although, uh, there's no guarantee, that if she's separated from from Asa, and she turned back into the owl thingy, would she lose all her power? Or would she still retain it? Like, either way, I don't think she's gonna be able to hold uh, a weapon by looking like that. So that would definitely be her not able to wield all the power that she has right now. So obviously she's not willing to do that unless she really doesn't see any chance in winning. Plus, there's also the angle of her being like just very peeved and offended that, the Denji that I used to just be able to uh, kick around and just be able to be sure that he'd come back to me anytime like a puppy that doesn't know any better than to run from an abusive owner. That's the same Denji that thinks that can beat me right now. The one that's just an entertaining toy to me? Nah, no way. I'm not gonna just sit back and uh, let him think that he's above me. So that's definitely part of why Yoru, at this point in the fight, she just. Yeah, there's no way she's just. Uh, gonna accept that Denji can beat her both physically and like mentally. He's no longer in a state where Yoru can manipulate him. So yeah, that's really good. I really like that. And I'm a little, surprised that Denji would show what he actually wants uh, from beating Yoru the most, which is, you gotta give Asa's body back this early. Because there is a chance that now that Yoru knows that what he's after, then she'll just be more stubborn and not let him reach that goal. But like I said, uh, the last reaction, I think, that I hope Asa will play a big part in the end of this fight. And she'll be the biggest reason as to why Yoru is defeated and she gets her body back. But still, Denji will have helped getting up to that point. So, yeah. that's gonna be it for this one. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Till next time, see ya.